We are back on Morning Line with Clint Kelly, malpractice attorney. The number is 737-7587 if you want to jump in. We've had a couple calls this morning, and we're going to go to Grady now. Is that cool? Let's go to Grady. Grady, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Nick and Clint. You know, I've got problems with emergency rooms when the doctor comes in and tells you that last time you was here, you found all 5 of our doctors. And I said, well, that's news to me. I said, you know, all my daughters, I've got 3 daughters, and of course they fight for the daddy pretty good. And they were asking questions, you know, why have y'all not come up with the reason he keeps coming back? And,
Nick,
you know, they had no answer.
See if Grady can call back.
I wasn't sure. He keeps breaking up there. We'll see if we can get that a little bit clearer. It sounded to me, at least part of it, he was talking about, you know, his family constantly asking questions when things weren't going right. That just made me think about what you say. It's when you go to the hospital, man, ask questions, right?
Absolutely.
Press the doctors, and if they're not answering your questions, you know, you got to find another doctor.
Well, it kind of goes back to what Joe said, stay out of the hospital if at all possible. But if you are unfortunate enough to wind up there, then it is essential that you bring someone with you there, whether it's a spouse, a friend, someone who can be a family advocate for you for 24 hours. Because if you have to stay there 24, 48, whatever, that person needs to be the one who goes to the nurse when the nurse comes in and says, what medication are you giving him?
Yeah.
When's the doctor going to see him next? What are you treating him for? Ask questions, because that prevents, believe it or not, a lot of negligent acts.
The case we did with your client that had the wrong medicine was given the antipsychotic. It was her daughter that looked at the pill bottle and then realized that even though, you know what, the pills were similar.
Right.
And she figured it out.
Unfortunately, it was too late. After
she had already taken one of them. That poor woman. Imagine getting an antipsychotic pill that makes you flip out when you think you're getting a muscle relaxer for leg pain.
Yeah, you start hallucinating. You're like, what is wrong with me?
What is that?
You know, you think you're losing it. And you know, you go to your pharmacy, Nick, that's the one place you figure they'll get it right.
Oh, we talked about this before. So if you go, what do you do when you go get a prescription? I mean, you double check. Okay, you guys sure you gave me the right pills for that? I mean, do you double? I mean, most people don't. I didn't until I've done these stores.
Since what happened to her, I check my pills all the time and make sure. And if there's any difference whatsoever, I won't take them. I go to the pharmacist and ask what's the deal.
And if you really want to be thorough, again, you can go online and check it. Or what's the book with the pills?
Oh, Physician's Desk Reference, or PDR.
It's awesome. Yeah. You open that sucker up and you've shown me that.
It's got every pill in there.
Every pill in the world and what it looks like in the safe and the description. So you can say, that's what I'm getting. Oh. Yeah, they're the same.
You can marry them up, all right. Pictures.
I think Grady got closer to his source. So, Grady, can we hear you better now? Go ahead.
Thank you, Dan. Anyhow, the last time I went in the hospital, one of the doctors come in and asked me, said, last time you was here, you fired all 5 of our regular hospital doctors. And I said, that's news to me, you know, and my 3 daughters that's fighting for the daddy's life. Yeah. So they asked the question, you know, what's wrong with him? Why does he keep coming back, and what are you doing to treat him, you know? And this is what come from that, you know, was they said I fired all 5 doctors. Of course, they brought my heart doctor in there, which was the best thing that ever happened. He said I had permanent damage to the left bottom part of my heart and never would get any better. So, you know, at least he had an answer. And, you know, went to one of these rehab units they sent me to, and I had a pick line that they were supposed to get blood out of, and 4 o'clock in the morning they come in and they go draw blood out of someplace else. And I said, they told me the blood needs to come out of the pig line. I can't do it. I said, why can't you do it? He said, I'm not a registered nurse. I said, well, you find me a registered nurse, you know, rather than me being stuck. So, you know, at 4 o'clock the next morning, here he comes again. And I said, I told you, you need to check with the people around here. They're not supposed to draw blood out of any place other than pick line. Yeah. I'll hang up and listen to y'all's comments this morning.
Grady, not long ago, had bypass surgery, a major procedure. He sounds better. His voice is getting stronger, but he'd been through the ringer. He's seen it in the hospitals. Yeah. I don't think he got an infection or not, but even he was savvy enough to start asking questions.
Always ask questions. That's one way to prevent something really bad from happening to you. And like you said, if you don't have a nurse that's doing the procedure and need a nurse, go get a nurse.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to ask for it. Will they always accommodate you? I mean,
sometimes, you know, Nick, I tell you what's getting to be like. It's getting to be like when you board an airplane.
Yeah.
You know how it's becoming combative.
Sure.
There's some similarities in the way that you're treated on an airline versus how you're treated in a hospital. You're looked at like cattle.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, whether it's an airplane and you're the price of the ticket, or whether you're in the hospital and it's your insurance, either way, you're just a number to a lot of these people.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's not a close relationship between you and the healthcare provider, and that's when it gets combative. When you start pushing back on people, they have to be pushed. I mean, you're at the end of the day, it's your health that's at stake.
Right.
And so always ask questions, never be bashful about getting answers to things that don't seem right, or getting the right care that you need to get.
All right. I'm sorry, did I miss who we have on one? Did we? Okay, let's go to Tony. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Hi, Tony.
I want you to help me out with this. Like I told you last week, I was in that serious car wreck. My neck and back still killing me. The person that had no insurance license, and the officer didn't arrest the girl over here, didn't drug test her. So, but anyway, when I got over to this hospital by ambulance, they hooked me up with a lot of equipment. I was in a neck brace, and they done all the tests and everything, x-rays. So they said ain't nothing wrong. The doctor took the neck brace off and kept it and threw it in the trash. He wouldn't get it back. Why am I got to pay for something you done already took back? I'm waiting on the bill to come. And he just acted like it wasn't nothing. And as soon as I told him I was a veteran, they hurried up and got me out of there instead of taking me to the VA hospital in the beginning. So, which I told him to do. So now I'm going to have a bill for nothing.
Yeah.
And not to mention, they done took all the stuff back, even wanted to take the medicine back.
Well, it's they immobilized you. Maybe they realized or felt he wasn't as badly hurt as they thought.
Guess who wouldn't be getting a check for payment of that bill? I can tell you that right now.
Is he going to get? He's going to get billed for that neck brace.
I don't
probably.
know if he is, but if he is, if I'm him, I wouldn't pay it.
Yeah, don't pay it.
Yeah,
you know,
I just write a nice little letter to him saying, I'm not paying you for this. You took my brace off and didn't give it back to me. I'm not paying for something that you took back to yourself.
Man, you know, one thing I wanted to hit on one more time, because bringing it up, we talked about, and I haven't seen if there's been a new development on the Bill Paxton, the actor who passed away. But the thing that I remember last time you've been on and we've talked about it is the pressure on the legs. I had a friend who recently had a surgery, and when he came out and he had to be bedridden for about 24 hours, they had those pressure packs on his legs. The surgery was up here, but he was immobilized. And without that, that's the big thing now. If they don't do that, you could have a blood clot that kills you, right?
Correct. The whole idea now is to try to prevent blood clots from forming and then ultimately migrating into your lungs and your heart, which can kill you. It's called a pulmonary embolism. There are ways now, proven, tested ways, to prevent blood clot formation that can kill a patient. The problem is a lot of your hospitals have not executed their procedures to prevent blood clot formation. And so when you see these inflatable sleeves or leg cups around patients' legs, that's one defense against blood clot formation, because blood clots typically form in the deep veins of your legs. They pool in there, and these pneumatic compression sleeves, they squeeze the muscles and the blood in there to prevent clots from being formed. Unfortunately, there's some patients who go to hospitals and have surgeries or in hospitals for a long period of time, and they're immobilized, and they don't get those leg sleeves, or they don't get the medication, the blood thinners, and then they develop a blood clot and die. And one of the cases you were talking about that I got from this show was a young man who was in the hospital for 4 days, and they didn't keep the sleeves on him like they were supposed to, and he developed a fatal blood clot and died at 35.
That's just awful. So that's the standard of care now, these cuffs and the blood thinners, so you've got a case if they don't do that.
That's correct. I mean, right now the medicine is such that it is, I can't think of a way that you would defend not putting sleeves or giving blood clot medicine to patients who are at least a moderate risk of developing blood clots.
And remember, we're not talking, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, that's some elderly person maybe with procedure. That could be me, that could be you. Because I didn't realize, this is another thing I've learned so much from you, but I mean, if you're immobilized on a bed, and I'm a pretty healthy guy, am in the bed and for whatever reason can't move for 24 hours, I'm in danger of having a blood clot simply because I'm not moving and blood can pool.
Right. Exactly.
Just because I'm not moving, even though I don't have problems down in my legs.
It's the way our blood and gravity works, is it collects and creates clots. And medicine's known this for the last 30 or 40 years. It's only until the last 10 years where they have gotten around a strategy to try to prevent this. It is I believe, Nick, the #1 cause of preventable death in hospitals are patients who die from blood clots. Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable. And now they only now have come up with that, you know, so there have been cases. Clearly, that's why I was wondering with Bill Paxton. He had surgery, right? And then he ends up dying of I think it was some type of stroke, what they released on that. And I don't know. I haven't seen if a lawsuit's been filed on behalf of the family. But if they didn't give him those cuffs, right? We don't know the details.
Right. I don't know enough about why he died. I do know this. I don't know if you remember the comedian Gary Shandling.
Yeah.
Gary Shandling died from a blood clot where he was immobilized for a long period of time and got no blood thinners. I don't know if anyone was at fault for that, but it is the #1 cause of preventable death in hospitals today are blood clots.
Well, just remember, if you're someone who's in general healthy and you go in for some type of procedure and something crazy happens, the odds are something went wrong. And possibly something that should not have gone wrong that could have been prevented.
Yeah,
that's the way we talk about. Make that call if you're not sure.
My standard is if someone under the age of 55 dies in a hospital,
you told me that.
There's a 50-50 chance that it was the result of medical negligence.
Because that just should not happen, barring something unbelievable. Right. Let's get Clint's information up on the screen. I don't know if you have it there at the number, but we'll have it in the final segment. If we don't, just remind folks where your office is, Clint.
Yeah, it's in Hendersonville, but the phone number is 615-824-3703. They'll put it up on the board here.
We'll do it when we come back.
But I handle cases all across Middle Tennessee, or like that one I had, the blood clot case in Memphis. Just because my office is in Hendersonville, I go all over the place.
Right.
Nowadays, you can do a lot of work from your house. But if you think that you or a friend or family member has been the victim of a medical mistake that caused a substantial medical injury, give me a call because the call is free. I'll evaluate the case for free, and I'll let you know whether you have a lawsuit. And if you do, I'll take it. And you don't pay anything unless I recover you money.
There it is. It's definitely worth it. And why wait? If you wait more than a year, you can be out of luck. So make that call. Clint,
good seeing you.
As always, a pleasure, my friend. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Take a break. Programming note about tomorrow right after this. Thank you, Clint.
Go print.